How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Coolie McDoolie podcast. I am Colby Spitz. I am here with Billy Gillane, and today we are going to be doing our Oscar 2018 nomination reactions. So we're just going to be going through the list of what actors or the films that were nominated, give our reaction to what we think. So let's see this year. I know personally I have not seen the list yet. I've tried very hard to not see it. Have you seen any of it yet?
No.
All right, awesome.
No, I haven't. I've purposely stayed in the dark just for this.
Awesome. All right, so this should be some pretty good hot takes. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so let's start off with. Okay, here's a good one to start with. Let's go with production design. All right.
Okay.
Ooh, so we got Beauty and the Beast. I think we can say that's pretty fair. If nothing else, it was pretty to look at. I didn't care for the film, but that's not what we're looking at.
They definitely did a good job with the aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely. It fit what they were going for. Blade Runner 2049. I think that is absolutely well deserved. We have The Darkest Hour. That's interesting.
Okay.
We have Dunkirk, which I think is it's an interesting choice that I wouldn't have expected necessarily.
I was about to say, I mean, I guess there was nothing in that movie that caught me as too, elaborate. And, it felt World War II, but it didn't feel...
Yeah, it just seems...
super,
fairly normal, I guess.
It didn't really stand out in that way, so...
Okay. And then we have The Shape of Water. So I think...
Okay, I'm expecting to see that one quite a bit, so...
Yeah, I definitely expect The Shape of Water and Dunkirk to be on here quite a bit. But, okay, so out of production design, out of those five, who do you want to see take the Oscar?
I'm leaning probably towards Blade Runner 2049.
I think I have to say the same thing, just because it fit so damn well. It was very immersive.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, like I said, it's the first Blade Runner had a very similar thing with the production design. It was very, very immersive. Felt very, very, and this definitely kind of felt the same way. So I totally expect that should win.
Blade Runner or Shape of Water, I wouldn't be upset seeing either of those take the Oscar. I think both are very well deserving.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Let's go to film editing. Here we go. This is an interesting one. All right. Oh, first off, we got Baby Driver.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. I like that. Dunkirk. I, Tonya, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water. And 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. That's pretty interesting.
Shape of Water and Dunkirk are on there again. That's not a huge shocker.
No, I'm absolutely not surprised at all.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing we're not going to see them on here for is best foreign film and best animated film. But I wouldn't even be surprised if they showed up on that.
Yeah. I will say I think Baby Driver is a very fair choice. But Edgar Wright does have that very specific editing style to all of his films. So I wouldn't necessarily expect that one to take it. As much as I want to see Baby Driver win, I don't know that it will. I easily see it going to The Shape of Water or Dunkirk.
Yeah, I would expect probably Shape of Water or Dunkirk to come out with this. With Baby Driver, I mean, it's a great movie, but I don't know how many nominations it's going to get. This might be just kind of an obligatory acknowledgement and nomination that certain films get every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see.
It's deserved.
Out of those, you're picking Dunkirk?
Yeah, I'll take Dunkirk.
All right. Yeah, I can probably say the same. It was definitely well done. All right, let's go. Let's go with animated feature film. This is a pretty good one. All right, so we got The Boss Baby. Okay. Which I'm very surprised to see that on here. That I'm pretty blown away.
Yeah.
The
It
bread.
did well for itself. So.
Yeah, it did. I guess that it did pretty well in what it was achieving or setting out to achieve. The breadwinner.
Yeah. Okay.
We got Coco,
Of course.
Ferdinand, the John Cena one. That's something. All right, and then Loving Vincent. I think this one you're definitely gonna see Coco take it.
So there's no Lego Batman on there.
No, Lego Batman. I would say that's definitely a snub.
Yeah, but it's better than Boss Baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
By
I was
quite
even.
a bit.
That's what I was thinking. Either Lego Batman or even the Captain Underpants. Like either of those even seem like they would be more justified.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think Boss Baby should be on there. I'd put Lego Batman in over that. But yeah, Coco.
Yeah, Coco would take it regardless.
No issue.
All right, let's see. Let's go with cinematography. This will be a good one.
Okay.
Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk,
Of course.
Mudbound, and The Shape of Water.
Okay.
For cinematography, I definitely have to say Blade Runner again. Only because every shot in that film was so well set up that each one had different meaning. Each one progressed the story. It really just it moved the entire thing along, and it was just a breathtaking film to watch.
Yeah, for me it would be either Blade Runner 2049 or Dunkirk. And with Dunkirk, we talked about this in the last podcast. To me, that might have been the most year in terms of just feeling like you're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the way it was shot had so much to do with that, and the way it was shot really had such an impact on that film. So you have a slight edge to Dunkirk in this category, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if Blade Runner took this.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so here are two that I'm glancing over, and they have the exact same nominations. So, sound editing and sound mixing, they both have the same 5. You have Baby Driver, Blade Runner 2049, Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, and Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Okay. Yeah. Star Wars is going to get in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't sure if I was going to see that one too much, but I think it deserves a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting it more for, I guess, the visual effects, but
yeah, definitely.
So I think so far, I think literally the only category we haven't seen Shape of Water and Dunkirk yet has been the animated feature category.
Yeah, it has been. You're not wrong.
What do you think?
I would probably have to give sound editing to Dunkirk.
Editing, yeah.
As a war film, as the explosions, as everything like that. It was very immersive. It was, it adds to the entire feel of being there on that beach with those soldiers. But for sound mixing, I would probably give it to Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Because that Edgar Wright really uses the music and the gunshots on beat and the steps on beat to progress the story. It is its own character in that right.
Mm-hmm. To me, I think Baby Driver is worthy of getting both of them.
Yeah, definitely.
In this category, I think editing wise too. Like you said, this part of telling the story in that movie, and the movie is edited very, very well. So I don't know. I just think that with music being such a drastic part of that film, if there's any place to give it some love, it'd be
certainly
in the sound mixing and sound editing.
And I just want to put this out there. This isn't so much what we expect to win, but what we think deserves to win or what we would prefer to win.
If it was who we expected to win, I'd be saying Dunkirk and Shape of Water for all
of them. Hey, some of the movies just seem way too perfect for the Oscars to pass up. All right, let's see. Let's go with. All right, well, you mentioned it. Let's go with visual effects.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is us. I kind of like what I'm seeing. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
Okay.
Wow. Kong Skull Island.
All right.
Star Wars The Last Jedi. There you go.
Yeah.
and War for the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Yeah, I expected to see War for the Planet of the Apes on this. In this.
I'm glad that's there though. I didn't know if it was going to
Yeah,
be.
that would probably be my pick for this category. It's because the way those apes, they look like you can't even tell if that's CG. Those apes look so realistic.
It looks so real that if you didn't know it was a film, it would, you would think, oh, that ape can really act.
The Andy Serkis ape is fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, the fact that, like I said, all the main characters, with the exception of Woody Harrelson, are CG apes, and they look so realistic and it's so well done. I think that deserves to win this category.
Absolutely.
Worthy of winning it. Blade Runner's in there. Blade Runner could easily win this as well. I mean, but I'd give it to apes.
I will say, out of all the things we've seen The Shape of Water in, I'm surprised this isn't one of them.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I guess that's not so much visual effects, because it's kind of practical effects.
Well, it was a good amount of practical effects. Well, I guess it's not just CGI, but still.
Yeah, it's a little mix of both. But I am surprised it's not on there. I thought they would incorporate that one way or another.
I think with Planet of the Apes, effects were such a major part of that film, and like that film without the effects, I mean, it could almost be unwatchable if those effects weren't well done.
It would kind of be it would kind of be like some of the sequels to the original Planet of the Apes, like the one with Mark Wahlberg. A little unwatchable. Yeah. All right, so let's get into some of the bigger ones here. Let's go adapted, and we'll start with adapted screenplay. All right. We have Call Me by Your Name. We have The Disaster Artist.
Okay.
Logan.
Hey.
Molly's Game, and Mudbound.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we're choosing favorites, I'd give this to Logan. Pretty hands down. I wasn't expecting Logan to really be nominated for anything though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I like seeing that there.
I expected to come in here talking about how it got snubbed this year on so many different categories. I'm happy it got some recognition, but yeah, I'm surprised Disaster Artist is nominated.
Really?
Just because James Franco this past few weeks.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are allegations that have kind of been brushed under the table. But that's a whole other thing to get into.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I'm kind of leaning towards The Disaster Artist, if we're just going off of the source material. Franco did a fantastic job of turning it into a buddy comedy, in a sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really turned more into a love for The Disaster Artist because I saw it for the first time just after our podcast last week. And then the fact that I was going into it thinking it'd just be just a satire, and it was so much more than that. So I loved the film, but like I said, Logan's my favorite film of the year, so that would be my best adapted screenplay.
Okay, I definitely think that's pretty fair. Let's go actor in a supporting role.
Okay.
All right, we have William Dafoe in The Florida Project.
All right.
Woody Harrelson in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. You have Richard Jenkins in The Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer in All the Money in the World.
Okay.
And Sam Rockwell in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So wow, that I will say that's interesting that 3 Billboards gets 2 nominations in the same category.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I feel like I wouldn't have expected that either. One thing I will say is I feel like Armie Hammer should have received some sort of consideration for Call Me by Your Name. Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm not outraged that he didn't get nominated. And I think with a lot of the acting awards this year, I can't really say anybody's going to be snubbed because there's so many great performances this year.
Certainly.
I had to give this one to somebody. I'd lean towards Sam Rockwell.
That's what I'm thinking. I will say that I think Patrick Stewart was snubbed a little bit. I think his performance was absolutely phenomenal. The best of up there with the best of his career for what he and he's recognized.
I came into this crossing my fingers that at least he would get a nomination because I feel like out of all the actors in Logan, he was the most deserving.
Yeah, he really blew me away. But out of what we're given, Woody Harrelson was fantastic, but nothing that you haven't seen before. Richard Jenkins was good. I think I'm going to have to go Sam Rockwell as well. He really does a fantastic performance. All right, let's see. All right, I'll let you pick this. Do we want to go actress in supporting, or do we want to go actor in leading?
Let's go supporting actress.
The supporting actress? All right. So we have Mary J. Blige in Mudbound.
Yeah.
You have Allison Janney in I, Tonya. You have Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread. Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird. And Octavia Spencer in The Shape of Water. None of these I really think were phenomenal performances. Nothing that really at least stands out.
Yeah, to me, there's not one clear winner in this category. I'm gonna say Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water, just because it's The Shape of Water, and I feel like it's gonna pretty much win everything. So
yeah, I will say Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird, playing the mother. She was phenomenal. She really nailed that role. I have not seen I, Tonya yet. But I do know, I have seen clips of Allison Janney's performance, and it is very, very well done.
I know she won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress.
Did she? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Another thing I'll say is, I would like to see Mary J. Blige win, but that's more because I'm a fan of hers. But,
all right,
but she did a good job in Mudbound. So.
I think I'd really like to see Metcalf for Lady Bird or Spencer for The Shape of Water take this. Octavia Spencer is very enjoyable. She has a very nice presence on screen. And Metcalf, you really kind of feel for the mother in that role. So either way, I wouldn't be upset if either of those three won, including Janney. But that one's kind of hard. Nobody really, like you said, nobody really stands out as a clear winner.
If I had to bet money, I'd go with either Octavia. I'd go with Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Absolutely. All right, let's go to. Let's keep going with the pattern we've been going. Let's go actor in a leading role.
Okay.
All right, so you got Timothy Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name. Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread.
Okay.
Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out.
Oh.
Well deserved. Wow. Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
Of course. And Denzel in Roman J. Israel.
So, no Tom Hanks.
No Tom Hanks. Which, wow. I feel like this one definitely has a few snubs.
Yeah, and obviously, James Franco.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. James Franco didn't get one. That's the one that really has me surprised right now.
I'm happy though I'm surprised a little bit that Daniel Day-Lewis got in. I shouldn't say surprised because it is Daniel Day-Lewis, but
that's the Academy for you though. They just go after. Yeah. That's why I'm very happy to see Daniel Kaluuya. At least he got a nomination. I wasn't sure if he was going to or not.
It's well deserved. That Get Out, I'm happy Get Out is getting some sort of recognition in that respect. Because that was a fantastic movie.
Certainly.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I think Gary Oldman's winning it this year. What he did as Winston Churchill was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I can see it going to Oldman. I don't think Kaluuya will get it just because it is the Academy, and they're a little funny that way. Daniel Day-Lewis or Gary Oldman, I feel like, are the easy picks. And I think both of them are relatively well-deserved, but definitely Oldman over Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Daniel Day-Lewis, because he is this. I think this was his last film, so he says. So
Oh, okay. Yeah,
after this, so I could easily see them giving it to him. But yeah, I think Gary Oldman is the most deserving with what he did with Winston Churchill. I mean, I remember seeing the trailers for that movie for the first time. I didn't even realize it was Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I was the same way. I just didn't know until I actually looked. I had to actually look up Gary Oldman's face to be like, yeah, that is the guy I'm thinking of. I was I was taken aback.
It was I even after I saw the movie, I was like that didn't look like Gary Oldman. That wasn't Gary Oldman. But he did a terrific job. Like he got the mannerisms down and everything. So I think he deserves that award.
All right, so let's move on.
I will say though, real quick,
oh.
It's not a snub, but Hugh Jackman and Logan.
It's not a snub, but it's a snub.
Yeah, so one of the best performances of his career.
Yeah.
Just saying, should have gotten in there in my opinion. But I guess I'm not mad about it.
I was actually not. I was kind of curious to see if he would at least get one for The Greatest Showman. I didn't expect him to necessarily get one for Logan, but I thought somewhere in supporting actor or lead actor, you would see his name, or Zac Efron's name for that matter.
I would have been probably more upset if he got nominated for Greatest Showman and not for Logan, because I mean he was good and he was very good in The Greatest Showman, but to me his performance in Logan was 10 times better because just the role in general was 10 times better.
Yeah, most definitely.
So yeah, and then also Andy Serkis in War for the Planet of the Apes was fantastic, but
it's rare to see someone that you don't see their face.
Motion. Well, I mean that is his face.
It's his face, but capture. It has a lot of monkey layers on it.
He did a terrific job with that. I wasn't expecting him to get nominated whatsoever, but because it was a motion capture role, but he did a fantastic job and deserves that shout out.
All right, and then I know I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but something that just came into mind. Actor in a supporting role. Do you think Jamie Foxx should have gotten a nomination for Baby Driver?
I'm not mad that he didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't even think about him being a snub until you said something.
Okay.
No, I'm not mad that he didn't get in. I have no problem with the list of supporting actors, really.
Okay.
Well, actually, I did say there was a couple snubs, so never mind. I do have a couple problems.
I will say that just the 2 for 3 billboards is what's sticking with me. But regardless, moving on to actress in a leading role. So, all right, let's see. We got Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water. Naturally, I definitely expected that. Frances McDormand in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
No surprise.
Absolutely not. Margot Robbie in I, Tonya. Which I think it's justified. Not my first choice.
Like I said, this might be the most stacked category of the year, in all honesty.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And then you got Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird. And there you go. You got Meryl Streep for The Post.
Oh, there you go.
I was waiting for The Post somewhere up here.
It was going to be in there. You don't have a movie starring Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep and not get one of them in there for nomination.
Directed by Steven Spielberg? Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Of course.
About journalism? I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Regardless, Frances McDormand has my vote. I just think that was an absolutely brilliant performance. Sally Hawkins. Okay, it's how nice is it, though, to see Sally Hawkins, who didn't speak a word in the film, get nominated for leading actress.
No, I mean her performance is fantastic.
It's undeniable.
Sometimes it's harder, I feel like, to act without saying words. So, it's her nomination is definitely well deserved. If I had to give it to somebody on this list, though, I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Saoirse Ronan.
Oh, okay.
For Lady Bird. That whole movie was fantastic. Her performance was fantastic. And then in terms of people who didn't get in, I'm a little surprised not to see Jessica Chastain on there for Molly's Game.
Yeah, I will say Molly's Game has not gotten the recognition I thought it deserved.
Yeah.
That's really the only one that I think got relatively snubbed. And I don't even know if I would
Yeah,
consider that
I
a
mean,
snub.
I'm like in this category. I wouldn't say it's a snub. I mean, because
It's so hard to
all
narrow
five
this down
people,
to five.
all five people who got nominated deserve to get nominated.
Most
So
definitely. That being
I think
said,
it's nice.
Sally Hawkins and Frances McDermott, I would love to see win. Either one deserves it. Same with Say Ronan. Margot Robbie and Meryl Streep, I just don't think they were on par with some of the other performances. Not to
I
say
would,
that they were bad performances or not absolutely mind blowing, because per usual, Meryl Streep nails the role, which is no
yeah.
surprise, and Margot Robbie, she definitely got into the character of Tanya Harding. I just think
Yeah.
Sally Hawkins, McDormand, and Ronan, they really just got it a
I will
little
say
bit
though,
better.
I could very easily see Margot Robbie winning. I think she deserves. I think she's up there with the other three performances. I do.
Yeah, I mean, when I say I don't think she is on the same level, it's by about a little bit less than a hair.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, all right, now we're starting to get into some of the bigger ones. Let's go. Let's go original score. We got
Okay.
Dunkirk, Phantom Thread,
Okay.
The Shape of Water,
Of course.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi,
Oh, there you go, John Williams. Yeah.
and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Wow. So
Um,
here's where I kind of have a problem. Phantom Thread over Blade Runner 2049.
I
Uh,
get why they did it because didn't Hans Zimmer do Dunkirk and Blade Runner?
yeah, he did, but just because one guy puts out two of the best scores, I don't know that.
I mean, we both agreed on this last time. His score in Dunkirk was better than his score in Blade Runner. It's just a little surprised to see Phantom Thread in here. I don't know.
Phantom Thread and Three
Um,
Billboards both seem a little bit of a stretch just to get the nomination count up.
yeah. But if I had to give this to anybody, I'd give it to Dunkirk again
Yeah,
probably. Like I said, that movie, that score is so immersive and so well done. Hans Zimmer is one of the best at what he does, so I give it to Dunkirk.
most definitely. I have to say Dunkirk, but not far behind. I wod have to give Shape of Water the credit it deserves. It is
Of
absolutely
course,
gorgeous. It is gorgeous to listen
Dun-
to.
Dunkirk and Shape of Water are the top two for every category. So yeah.
Certainly. All right. Let's go into original screenplay. Original screenplay, we have The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah, I don't have any huge
Whew.
issues with that list. I'm happy to see Get Out on there again.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's well deserved. Jordan Peele, like I said, he did a fantastic job, and I was really surprised at what he did. I will say though that Water is probably gonna win again.
If I were to pick one, I'd have to give it to probably, I see it going to Three Billboards. Um, but I will say that something I think deserved to be up there was Baby Driver.
I
Uh,
can see it.
I'm not sure which one I would take out per se, but I really do think Baby Driver deserves to be on that list.
What was the first one you said again?
The Big Sick.
Okay, that's another one. I'm happy that got nominated because I think that's a fan that was Kumail Nanjiani did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's hard to pick one to take out. Um, but I don't know that. I think it could have taken the place of Lady Bird. If I was to pick one, I would put it there. As fantastic
Okay,
as
yeah, I
Lady Bird
mean,
is, that's where I would put Baby Driver.
yeah, because I don't think I'd take out any of the other four.
Right.
I think they're all locks as far as I'm concerned. Those are, but don't know if I necessarily take out Lady Bird either because I think that's well deserved as well. That's why anything I say is a snub. I hesitate to say the word snub just because there's so many great choices here.
I will say
for all these categories this year, this was a great year. But like I said, Baby Driver. If it was in there, I wouldn't have been mad either.
right. And then let's go on to directing, our second to last category.
Okay.
So, directing, you have Dunkirk.
Of course.
You have Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Bird.
Okay.
Phantom Thread.
Okay.
And The Shape of Water.
No Spielberg?
No Spielberg. You're right, no Post.
Oh, dang. Okay, so no Tom Hanks or Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, that is a bit of a surprise.
Also, no Villeneuve for Blade Runner either.
That's what I was hoping to see. Or no Call Me By Your Name either.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised once again to see Phantom Thread in here. I'm like I said, I expected to see Dunkirk. I expected to see Shape of Water.
I will say, one I certainly expected to see was Three Billboards, and that's not up here either.
That's true. Well, I'm happy that they gave Jordan Peele. I think Jordan Peele deserved being put in there for what he did with Get Out. I'm happy to see him get that nomination. And I think what Greta Gerwig did with Lady Bird is also well deserved.
It is nice to see the female director nominated, which is something that we didn't get at the Golden Globes.
Natalie Portman reminded us of that.
Oh yeah, she made sure everybody knew that.
The only one I think I might take out is Phantom Thread. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably put Blade Runner 2049 in there. I don't. Like I said, Spielberg you could have put in there, and I wouldn't have been mad.
I disagree with you there. If I had seen Spielberg, I just would have called it the Academy honoring the higher names of
That's
film.
the Academy.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of glad I'm not seeing his name. The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, well deserved. Nolan for Dunkirk, deserved. Jordan Peele, I'm so happy to see his name up there.
That made me incredibly happy.
Lady Bird, I'd say that's fair enough. It wasn't one of the best directed films of the year in my opinion, but it is deserved nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I expect to see this go to The Shape of Water. But no, once again, I'm really surprised I'm not seeing Three Billboards.
Another one, I don't know how much credence, but James Franco, I believe, directed this.
Disaster
We haven't really
Artist,
seen that many places yet, so that's interesting. I expected to potentially see it here as well, and then we didn't see him in Best Lead.
Yeah, the only one we've seen, Disaster Artist, is adapted screenplay.
Yeah, so far.
Wow, that is a surprise.
But if I had to, I'd give it to Dunkirk over Shape of Water, just because I feel Christopher Nolan does such a good job. That film, if given to almost any other director, wouldn't have been nearly as well done.
Any other director wouldn't have done it. Dunkirk is Nolan has that really strange way of telling a story, and ironically enough, Dunkirk doesn't tell a story. It just tells you about what it is, how it went down.
It was a risk in a way that I'm happy to see.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Nolan knocked it out of the park, so I'd give it to Nolan.
Okay. I'd give it to Del Toro for The Shape of Water, but I don't expect it to happen. But I would be super happy to see Jordan Peele win as well.
If I could pick who won, I'd pick Jordan Peele. But I'm assuming Christopher Nolan's going to win this.
Yeah, definitely. Last comment before we move on to our final category. To see Jordan Peele win Best Director in his maybe not his debut at directing, but his first major film, that I just really think that would be really inspiring to see that happen. to inspire future filmmakers, that you can be associated with something like Key and Peele, a comedy TV show on Comedy Central, and then just go out and make a film and then win for Best Director. I think that would be fantastic to see. But that's my little. I'll stop praising Jordan Peele for a minute.
And also, one last thing on this category: another director who I'm not mad didn't get nominated, but I think deserves recognition, is Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman. This was her biggest budget film she's ever done, I believe. And to be put in that situation with that film, and to do as good of a job as she did with that film, I had if she got nominated either.
Well, that's the thing about Patty Jenkins. It's such an important film, and we did talk about this last week. But it's very important in and of that this is the first female superhero film that we've seen that really just makes a woman look like a total badass and can stand up for herself and really just fight. And it was very well done in that respect. I'm not necessarily disappointed she didn't get it, because
I'm not disappointed at all.
Right. I would also like to see Edgar Wright on there for Baby Driver. I think Villeneuve deserves a recognition, but it's hard, like we've said many times, this is such a fantastic year.
James Mangold for Logan.
But no, directing, they got it. Phantom Thread could be moved around, I guess.
Phantom Thread's my only real issue with this category. But I'm actually surprised it's gotten a little more love than I thought it would compared to some other movies.
Yeah, like I thought The Post, that's one that I expected to see over Phantom Thread. But yeah, like I said, Shape of Water, Dunkirk, either one of those I'd love to see.
Every category, man. Both of them.
All right, and into our final one, the big kahuna.
Yeah.
Best Picture of 2017. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We got Call Me By Your Name.
Okay.
Darkest Hour.
Okay.
Dunkirk.
No surprise.
Oh, we have Get Out for Best Picture nomination.
Really?
Wow, I am really quite surprised to see that. I mean, everything we've been praising it for, I just didn't expect it to be on there.
I mean, it was one of those borderline ones for Best Picture for me, but
yeah, I mean, it as good as it was, I just didn't expect to see it, especially as a film that came out in February.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that came out in February. You don't see a lot of films that come out that early in the year get this much love later at the Oscars.
Yeah, but you're not going to get... you're definitely not going to hear me complain about it. Moving on, we have Lady Bird. We have Phantom Thread. The Post.
Okay.
So that's where, we've only seen it in one or two other places. So that's where...
Had, Meryl Streep?
Yeah, that was Meryl Streep for lead actress.
Have we seen it anywhere else? I feel like we've seen it in at least one more category.
I don't believe so. I think that's the only one. I could be incorrect, but regardless, but yeah, that's, at least we do see it somewhere. So the Academy isn't entirely changing their ways. They still have to get the Streep, Hanks, and Spielberg flick in there.
It was a well done movie.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, and then we have Del Toro for The Shape of Water.
No shocker.
And we have 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay, that's
wow. It. Okay. One that I was really, really hoping to see was Logan. I think that one.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not surprised, but
I still, you to put as good as Get Out was, like that one could have gone to Logan too, and I think Logan deserves it just the same as that or Phantom Thread or The Post. it
I think
changed.
Logan's just as deserving, but we've seen time and time again how many times do comic book movies get snubbed, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, there's several movies that deserve this, because like Disaster Artist didn't get put in here. Like I said, there's multiple movies you could have put in here.
Yeah.
I think War for the Planet of the Apes you could have put in here. So I'm not going to say this is. It's not it's not like them leaving out The Dark Knight.
Right.
Back in 2009.
Yeah.
But it's
pretty close.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty close. They're both really, really important films.
No, they are, but I think this year you can make the argument that there's multiple films that like all these films that got nominated deserve to get nominated.
I mean, I honestly think Darkest Hour, The Post, and Phantom Thread could have been taken out. As good as Oldman's performance in Darkest Hour was, I don't know that should be Best Picture. Phantom Thread, I'm not surprised.
That seems like a movie the Academy would nominate for Best Picture as opposed to,
I mean, if you just look at the names associated with some of these, though, you really do see where the Academy is still the Academy. They're still, the Oscars are still staying with the prestige names. You have Gary Oldman, Christopher Nolan, Daniel Day-Lewis, Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks. So you do still see where it comes in. Regardless, that's kind of what we're looking at.
Okay.
Best Picture, who are you wanting to see it go to?
That's a good question.
It's tough.
This is probably the toughest.
Absolutely.
Expect to go to probably Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
But I don't want to say that as my choice.
So, all right. So that's the one you think it'll go to?
I think Shape of Water will win. I would love to see Get Out get the win, but it's not going to.
Yeah, I really, that's what I'm wanting to see as well. It has so many things against it though.
Mm-hmm.
It has the February release. But getting nominated in and of itself really blows me away in so many of these categories.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't expect it to be nominated nearly as much as it's ended up being nominated, so I'm quite happy with that.
Now the one way I can see it being chosen as the winner would be the Academy, quote unquote, trying to be woke. They're just they're trying to prove that hey, we're up there too. Especially with the racial controversy that went down a year or two ago.
I mean, if they wanted to be woke, I don't know. I'd expect them to give it to Lady Bird before giving it to Get Out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Especially with the whole Time's Up, right? Me Too movements going on.
Yeah, definitely.
I would put that higher up on the likelihood of getting this award than Get Out.
Let's see. I am leaning towards. This is tough.
That's what I'm saying, man.
For Best Picture, I would like to see it go to 3 Billboards. I would like to see it go to Get Out.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, I don't think it will go to. But it would be cool to see a female director.
Get the win, yeah.
Get the win for both, for either that or directing, for that matter.
Absolutely.
The Shape of Water could easily take it. I think I have to go with 3 Billboards or Shape of Water.
That would probably be, in terms of likelihood, my second choice would be 3 Billboards.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see Darkest Hour winning. I don't see Phantom Thread winning. I don't see The Post winning.
That's what I'm thinking about. With The Post, would they, go that far as to follow up with The Prestige? I don't think so.
Yeah, another film I just thought of that has gotten some love, but didn't get nominated here is Blade Runner 2049. I think that film more than deserved to be in the
I absolutely
10. 8,
It
9.
is what, the 8, I believe, 8 or 9. 9, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I would probably put that in there over the Post, over Phantom Thread, and over Darkest Hour.
Yeah, I can agree. Call Me by Your Name, I can see that winning. Hey,
Oh
whoever.
yeah, I forgot that was in there.
If Call Me by Your Name wins, whoever goes to nominate it, make sure you don't say La La Land. Uh, um, we got a little. We're doing the Moonlight thing again.
Yeah,
But regardless, Call Me by Your Name, I could see taking it. Wouldn't be too disappointed. I don't think it's the most deserving, but I wouldn't be too disappointed. Dunkirk, I think, would be deserving. Get Out's deserving. Most of these really are deserving. It's
and
hard
I
to.
don't see Dunkirk winning this the Best Picture nomination. I think it's a very very well deserved nomination. I don't think it's going to win the award though. It'd be, like I said, it'd be Best Director. I feel like the direction in this film was the best part of this film. I don't know if it's going to win Best Picture though. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I can agree with that definitely. All right. Any comments about the Oscars? That wraps up the at least the main categories here.
So I counted about 5, maybe 6 snubs for Logan.
I think
That is
we
my final.
I can't disagree with you entirely.
It's the best film of the year, Academy.
I also feel the same way about Blade Runner, about Baby Driver. They deserved a few more nominations, I felt like. For the most part, I think they've got it at least a little bit better than they have in the recent years.
And the other interesting takeaway I have from this is Disaster Artist got almost. I can't help but feel it's got something to do with what came out against James Franco.
I really think it has to, especially.
I think that would have been a lock almost in my opinion for like Best Picture if 3-4 weeks ago.
You know, if I'm being honest, what it feels like to me is Daniel Kaluuya for actor in a leading role was a fill-in because they scratched out Franco's name. That's really what that feels like to me.
Yeah, I can see it.
Or even Denzel for Roman J. Israel.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
But most definitely, I think they got it a little bit better than they have in the past. Not as many snubs.
I don't have nearly as many issues with this nomination list.
They went for the more diverse choices here. I'm not sure if that was conscious or not. Probably was.
In some aspects, I feel was.
Yeah. But at least the ones they picked were enjoyable films, and they're getting the recognition I think they deserve.
Yeah, like the one thing I say I felt pretty they were pretty aware of was the Greta Gerwig nomination for best director after seeing what happened at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, I think. I mean, she probably would have gotten.
She deserves it, but
I think she would have gotten the nod anyway.
No.
It's hard to say.
That nomination with that well in mind.
Yeah, they definitely were thinking about some of these things though. Mm-hmm. But I think that about wraps it up. Any closing comments? Anything like that?
Logan's the best film of the year. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Give Patrick Stewart an Oscar.
Hey, you know what? I think he could have won supporting actor for the poop emoji, but that's the Academy being the Academy. All right.
Baywatch should have been in that Best Picture.
All right. I think that about wraps it up, and we'll see you in the future. Later.
Yeah, absolutely.